How are you guys preparing for tomorrow, knowing that it's an elimination game? The season could be over, it feels.
Just figuring out a game plan to win this game. Clean up a few things that we think we need to do. I think defensively to give ourselves a chance to win.
Different feeling going into tomorrow's game at all?
Then what?
Than you do any of the previous games?
Not really. Not for me, at least.
Tim, how do you see? I know we keep asking about your role, but it's relevant, I guess. I almost feel like I apologize, but y'all got a game to win, and obviously that means you got to be prepared for anything. On both ends of the floor, like how are you approaching what you've done in this series, and feel like you should be able to do more of, or need to focus on more in particular?
I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that question. I think I just got to be a little bit better defensively, and bring a little bit more energy on the offensive end, to give us a better chance at winning these games.
When you say you got to be better defensively, what does that mean? Does it mean like creating more havoc? Does it mean being more physical?
Yeah, I think just creating more havoc. I think I'm pretty good at that. So just creating more havoc and just being smarter.
Terance Mason mentioned how hard it is to have an offense that's obviously based around Mike PG, and then to have those guys not, you're shifting on the fly. Yeah. You're trying to play through into playoffs, what that's been like for you guys, but what do you feel like you guys can do to make it sort of a winnable offense, to create confidence that can actually steal a game?
Yeah, I think we can do exactly what we did. I want to say it was the last two fourth quarter games. I think we found something. We found a way to play. And I think, if we continue to play like that while being smarter on the defensive end, we'll give ourselves a good shot to win the game.
What do you think is key to sustaining that?
I think just being conscious of how we need to play. Like, keep reiterating it, talk about it in the huddles, and just playing like it.
What do you make of the multiple guard lineups struggling in the regular season, and then in the fourth quarter, I think you guys are scoring by like 8 or 10 points in the last two fourth quarters?
Yeah, that happens, man. I guess that just happens. I don't know why we struggled with it in the regular season. I thought it was going to be pretty good for us, but at least it's good for us now when we need it the most.
Terance, you've been used to injuries and things popping up since you've been here, but has this season felt like there were just so many more curveballs than even what you guys were used to dealing with?
For sure, the most curveball season I've been a part of here, in my 4 years here at least, for sure. Other than the bubble, obviously.
How difficult was that, just to constantly have to adapt and adjust?
It was difficult. It wasn't an easy thing for everybody, but we got through it. We found ourselves into a 5 seed through all the different curveballs. Found ourselves in the playoffs. We picked up Russell, which was a great pickup for us. So, it came with some light.
You've been a constant to a lot of these changes, not just this year, but the previous years. But you're going to battle with half the damn rotation wasn't in training camp with you guys. So I know that the energy from last year was, let's bring everybody back and figure this out. Knowing that didn't work, they had to change so much, you're still here. Like, how did you kind of seen those new guys, including Russ, but not just Russ, come together, and now y'all in a position where y'all gotta make it work this week?
Yeah, I think just our coaching staff made them feel welcome, gave them strong, significant roles right away once they got here, and that kind of helped them, figure out what they needed to bring to the team. So I think, the last couple months with them having those roles, we got to muster up something to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. But those guys just had to figure it out, and I think they did, and they did a good job of it.
Terance, how have you not allowed yourselves to be somewhat demoralized, or has it been demoralizing at all to kind of go through the injury luck that you've had the last couple of weeks?
There's nothing you can really do about it. And I think a lot of these guys know that, and you kind of used to that when you're in the NBA. Just things happen, and you got to adapt and move on.
Terance, Phoenix is shooting about 50% from the mid-range in the series. Obviously, they have great mid-range shooters. And it's part of your guys' game plan to drive them into those shots. Can it get a tad frustrating, though, when the process of things isn't yielding the type of results that you would like, that they're still getting to that point?
Yeah, for sure. You know, they're shooting it great. You know, they have 3 guys who love those shots. And, you know, it's not easy, you know, when they're feeling themselves and they're hitting them. So, yeah, it's not an easy thing to do.
Terance, I know some of this is out of the guys' control, but is there anything else you think can be done to get more looks at the foul line?
Nah.
What's the key in still being aggressive and still playing the way you guys want to play, even if you don't always get the calls that you're looking for?
Just keep going. I mean, there's nothing we can really do about it. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get in trouble, but there's nothing you can do. You just got to keep getting to the paint as best you can.
All right, last question. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.